2023 was my best year yet. I grew closer to my family, made new friends, ticked off a lot of my goals, and developed self-confidence. And yeah, sure, there were some bad things that happened, some things that I regretted, but overall 2023 was a really good year. In today's video, I'm going to tell you why 2023 was so good to me and now I plan to make 2024 even better. Hi, my name is Adeola and this is your reminder to like and subscribe and leave this comment down below. So with the change in my perspective, the first thing that came was actually just realizing that I was alive for a reason. Like the fact that I woke up today just means that I have a purpose to fulfill in life, and like it's not my time to die yet. That's one thing I have to really learn and understand, that I am alive for a purpose, and so is everybody. So life is worth something. I think a lot of us forget that sometimes not everybody that goes to bed wakes up the next morning. So it's their privilege to be alive, and that's one thing I also learned to appreciate. Another thing I ensured to do was to forfeit that mindset that life is hard, life is stressful, and life is short. Because in all honesty, it isn't. Life can be anything you want it to be. You just have to change your perspective. So basically, I just started to look at positive things in life, which brings me to my next point, which is understanding the true meaning of the quotes "La vie en rose." It's like a French quote or a French saying that basically means choosing to view life in pink or life through rose-colored glasses. So everything you see, you only see the positive things in it. So you'll see only the positive in people, only the positive in bad situations, and only positive in basically everything in your life. That was another way that I ensured to change my perspective. Gratitude is definitely something that I used to, and I think a lot of people used to overlook, because we just always want more and we forget to appreciate the things that we already have. One thing I learned with gratitude and manifestation is that you can never get what you want if you're not grateful for what you have. So yeah, when it comes to gratitude, what I really like to do is like just look around me and just think of 3 things that I see around, and just think of a time that those things really helped you in a way. Maybe they made your life easier, or you were running out of time, they saved you time. Sometimes gratitude doesn't always have to be like, I'm grateful for the house I'm living in, I'm grateful for the food I'm missing, I'm grateful for the people in life. You can be grateful for the materialistic things you have too. Oh, I'm grateful for this chair that I'm sitting on, because if not, where would I film my video? That kind of thing. Oh, I'm grateful for the mirror in my room, because there was one time that I was eating, then I had pepper stuck in my teeth, but thankfully that mirror was there, so I was able to like remove the pepper from my teeth and I wasn't embarrassed. You see what I'm saying? Like basically, you can also express gratitude for materialistic things. No, when you start sentences, but you cannot finish them. That always happens to me. Another thing that made my 2023 really good was just prioritizing myself. Basically, in this world, it's just me, myself, and I. That's just it. So prioritizing myself for me involved getting to know myself more. I did this through journaling a lot, knowing what I would do in every single situation, knowing what I, like present me, past me, future me, would do in every single situation I find myself. Like sometimes I just do like brushing my teeth in the bathroom. I think of a scenario that I read in a book, and how the character dealt with it. I'll be like, oh, for me, if I was in this situation, this is what I would do. Just getting to know myself in and out. Like, you know, when you know someone in and out, that you'll be able to know what that person will do no matter what. I did that for myself, and that was just my way of putting myself first. Spending a lot of time alone, just working on myself, developing confidence, working on like my weaknesses, developing those parts of me, working on the introverted parts of myself that I pushed down a lot because of fear of missing out. Spending a lot of time alone made like every decision I made was not influenced by any other person. So I just put myself and my opinions first. Being able to say no. If I do not want to do something, don't do it. I will not do it. That was just being able to say no. If there's something that everybody's doing and you don't want to do it, you do not feel like it, you don't have energy for it, it's okay to say no. Even if there's no reason why you're saying no, the fact that you are saying no is enough. So that was another thing I did. Just no. Why? Because no. Learning detachment. Basically, cutting off the people, the toxic people, just cutting them off, removing people that don't align with your new goals and your values, just removing those people from your life. That helped a lot. There are a lot of things that make me happy in life, but something that is definitely at the top of that list is ticking off a goal that I set for myself. Like, it just brings this feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment. Like, nothing beats that feeling, to be very honest. And the way I was able to achieve a lot of the goals that I set for myself was by actually setting those goals in the first place. Because you're never really able to calculate how far you've gone, you're never really able to calculate your success if you do not plan and like set goals for yourself. So last year, one thing that I did a lot was writing down my goals, talking about my goals, or just constantly being aware of the things that I want and just constantly manifesting. And another thing that helped me a lot with goal setting was knowing why I thought I wanted what I wanted. Because you would come to realize that a lot of times the goals you think you want to achieve are actually not your goals. Those goals are influenced by other people's opinion and other people's thoughts and ideas on what you should want, and you don't actually want those things. So if you want something in your life, like if you want money, think about it. Why do you want that money? What do you want to use it for? Do you just want money because people expect you to have money, or is there something you want to use the money for when you have it? Just think about it. I feel like I talk about habits a lot. Like, I feel like in almost all my vlogs, I'm just doing my wellness habits and things like that. Because wellness habits, healthy habits are honestly so underrated. You have no idea how much impact they can actually have in your life. My wellness journey started from me doing yoga on the floor with no mat, no anything, to actually me talking about wellness stuff on my YouTube channel. And so wellness habits I really love. I really love talking about. I really prioritize. So because I always talk about them, I'm not going to brush through them. This is the healthy habits I practiced in 2023 that made my 2023 bomb AF. Exercise, journaling, meditation, listening to podcasts, manifestations, expressing gratitude, listening to uplifting music, planning every single thing, reading, prioritizing things that matter to me, expressing myself more, and yeah, that's everything. And now let us get into how I plan to make 2024 even better than 2023. Hi guys, what's up? Even though 2023 was good, it could have been better. After much examination and analysis, here are some things I plan to do in 2024 to make it better than 2023. My advice for you when it comes to making a year better than another year, or just improving yourself every single year, is to try to look at all the good things that happened last year and look at all the bad things that happened. Then think of why those good things happened and why those bad things happened, the things you know you did and things you know you didn't. Then that will be your guide on how to know what areas of your life you should work on. First one is feeling all of my emotions. I have this thing where if something bad or something negative or something that's not planned happens, rather than just sitting down and thinking of how this new thing affects me and how I plan to deal with it, I don't do that, and instead I just come up with a defense mechanism to cope with that thing and just try to fit it into the plan I already have. And it may seem like a good idea, like I'm learning to work with all the negative things that happen, all the unplanned, unexpected things that happen in my life. But it's actually the exact opposite because I don't allow myself feel all of my emotions. So a time will then come when I'm trying to balance that unexpected things into my schedule or into my plan. I didn't make my schedule, my plan around that thing. So obviously it won't fit into it. Then the time will come where that plan I have just come crashing down and I have no control whatsoever over my entire life. Then I just end up being depressed and sad and everything. So in 2024, one thing I want to do is learn to feel all of my emotions. Like, emotions are meant to be felt, emotions are meant to be expressed and felt and dealt with. and it is okay to wallow in your emotions, even though they are negative. I started reading this new book called 101 Essays That'll Change the Way You Think. It's a non-fiction. I know, first for me, I do not read non-fiction, but it's by Biana West, and it's like it really helps with like how you should deal with your emotions and just helping you understand emotions aren't actually bad things. Second thing I want to implement in my 2024 is to be less judgmental. I judge people, not intentionally though. I didn't even realize that I used to judge people so much until recently. I just tend to think I'm better than some people because of how I would deal with certain situations if those situations happen to me. And reading books really helps with this because when you're reading a fictional book, you have to relate with the characters, and the characters find themselves in certain situations and you have to understand why they do certain things. So that's one thing books help me do, because before I just feel like, why would you even do that? Like, it doesn't even make sense. But then when you're reading so much books, you try to understand those characters and why they do things in certain situations, and it's helping me become less judgmental. But I still need to work on it. So one thing I want to work on in 2024 is to be less judgmental, and I want to have more empathy for people in bad situations, and I want to know that I am privileged and I shouldn't always look down on people. The third thing in this list that I have right here on how I want to make my 2024 better is to stop overthinking and to stop negative thoughts. I mentioned once that I do not like staying in absolute silence. And the reason is because I have really bad thoughts. Think of extreme. Then think of the most extreme of extreme. That is how bad my thoughts are. They're like so negative, and I don't seem to have control over it. Like, I just be sitting down alone in silence, and I'm just like, what if this person in front of me dies? Like, that is why I don't stay in silence, because I just have really bad thoughts, and I also have nightmares, and I also overthink a lot. So I always just tend to play things at the background, podcast, music, ASMR. I'm just always listening to something. But that is not a way of dealing with this issue that I have. I'm just like pushing to the side. I actually want to deal with my negative thoughts, and I want to know the root cause of why I'm always wishing death on anybody that is sitting in front of me when I'm eating. So yeah, how do I plan to work on my negative thoughts? I have absolutely no idea. Like, I do not know. I probably need to go to therapy, bro. But I am going to try to do it this year. The last thing on my list before it comes to the end of this video, don't click off, let me talk. Last thing on my list is being present. So the other day, like, I was listening to this podcast, Go with Zoe. I was basically talking about what it means to be present. And I realized that I am actually not present a lot of the time. Being present just basically means, if I asked you yesterday at 5 o'clock p.m., what were you doing? Would you be able to answer me? If you can't answer that question, then you're not being present. Being present means being able to know exactly how you spend your time and what you are doing at every single moment of the time. Where exactly is the point of life if you don't know how you're living it? That sounded so cool, I say. So yeah, being present is definitely one thing that I want to learn. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Next week, I'm going to be posting a Prep With Me for 2024 video as like a series or like a continuation to this one. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And with that being said, I will see you in my next video.